That's all. The recording button, sir. Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. I welcome you all for the meeting number 877 of Chennai Toastmaster Club. The mission of Chennai Toastmaster Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before moving into meeting, I would like to brief certain rules to be followed. Please make sure that your mobile phone in a silent mode. Can you make sure it? And while speaking as a preferred speaker, as also as a table topic speaker, please make sure that you are not talking about three topics, which is politics, sex, and religion. Those attending the meeting online, please sit in a silent atmosphere for a better meeting experience. If you want to communicate something, please use the chat box. Those are here, you can reach out to me. With this, I would like to hand over the proceeding to our proceeding officer, Toastmaster Naveen Raj. Toastmaster Naveen Raj is our current club president. He is an electrical engineer by qualification and he is a quality engineer by profession. With this, I am handing over the stage to Toastmaster Naveen Raj. Toastmaster Naveen Raj, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Sajjan, for setting the rules and wonderful introduction. So, I would like to declare meeting number 877 open. And I would like to recognize the presence of our charter members, distinguished Toastmaster Abraham Jakaria sir and distinguished Toastmaster Nina John. Okay. We have some quite interesting sessions today engaged with our agenda. So we will introduce that exciting section at the later part of the meeting. And it's time to introduce the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Geeta Sharaf, a enthusiastic Toastmaster and a passionate Toastmaster, been a Toastmaster since 2019. Welcome you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about the power that comes from reforming clutter to clarity. See, when we talk about clutter, the first thing that comes to our mind is the physical clutter or the clutter that is in our homes. We buy a lot of things that we do not require, or we hold a lot of things which are of no use to us. But this clutter doesn't stop with the physical clutter alone. It can impact other areas of our lives as well. It could be the mental clutter in our thoughts. It could be emotional clutter in our relationships. It could even be digital clutter. Our laptops, our mobiles are all filled up with so many messages. Our inboxes, I would say rather, are filled up with so many messages that we sometimes feel so very overwhelmed. And it could also lead extend to organizational clutter. Now, friends, this clutter, the result is, with this clutter around us all the time, the result is we feel that we are very much emotionally drained. We are overwhelmed. And this clutter can create stress in our lives. Now, it doesn't stop with the stress alone. It can even take us to anxiety, and it can even lead us to depression. Now, it's also easy that we can organize the clutter. It is really very easy. All we need to do is to put the time and the effort to organize the clutter which is there in our life. And we will see that this organizing and decluttering process can lead us to a path that can take us nearer to our goals. This can also mean that we are letting go of all the unnecessary information that is not required by us and prioritizing and giving importance to only that stuff or that thing process which is important to us to lead a life which is fulfilled, successful, and happiness. So, dear friends, let us understand the process of going through the clutter. Before that, let me explain to you how this Toastmasters meeting is going to take place. And I will also show you that the process of going from clutter to clarity, how well it can be applicable in the field of Toastmasters as well. Are you all ready for it? Yes. Yes. So our meeting is going to be held in 3 sections. The first section is going to be for the benefit of the guests. The first section is going to be the prepared speech section, wherein the prepared speakers will prepare their speeches based on their goals and objectives and come and deliver their speeches here. The second section, I should say rather, is the impromptu session. Here, the speakers will be called upon to this on the stage, and they will be given the topic on the stage. So it is up to them to organize their thoughts in a way that they can create an impact on the minds of the audience. And then we also have this beautiful session. It's the most beautiful session in the Toastmasters, which is the evaluation session. So here, the speakers, they get instant feedback as to how they have performed in their speeches and how, in fact, it's a request for me, from me to the evaluators, that the speaker should also be evaluated on the basis of clarity and conciseness. So here they will be evaluated and they will be given enough points how well they can improve their speeches and take their speeches to the next level. So before we go into the meeting part, let me introduce to you our general evaluator. See, when I entered this meeting hall, I asked him, all set, Toastmaster Rohit? He said, yes, ma'am, I'm fully prepared. All the role players have come. Don't worry, we're going to have an awesome meeting. We are going to have a very lucid meeting. Oops. Did I just let out? I think I just let out the cat from the bag. I'm sorry, grammarian. And it's just that, everybody's just noticed it. Okay, so with that, let me invite this energetic Toastmaster, Rohit, who will tell you how to take your speeches or whatever roles you are playing ahead. This is very awesome.
Good evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Rohit Nandakumar, and I'm the general evaluator for today. So, why exactly is evaluation needed? Well, evaluation is an essential part of any process or anyone's life, be it an individual or a group or an organization, even a club. Evaluation is what makes us realize what we have done well, what we have not done well, what should have been implemented, and what should have been avoided. So, this is one essential phase that makes us realize where we need to improve. And indeed, and certainly, it will help us improve our quality and also make us realize our goals more efficiently. Hence, as a general evaluator, my job is to note down or keep an eye on all the processes right from the word go. As a general evaluator, I will be evaluating the quality of all the speeches, the performance of all the role players and other evaluators, and providing my valuable feedback, solutions, and apparently all the takeaways at the end of the meeting. So I have a couple of teams to assist me as part of this process. The first team comprises of a couple of evaluators, and I will be introducing them at a later point. Now, I will move on to the next team. This team comprises of 3 members, and it is called a tag team. Tag is an acronym. T stands for timer, A stands for R counter, and G stands for grammarian. So this team comprises of 3 members, and each member will be taking up one role, and they will be explaining the objective of the roles as I call them. So first up, I would like to introduce the timer for today. He is Toastmaster Sabri. He is from Dharmapuri district in Tamil Nadu, a passionate software engineer who currently works for Cognizant Technology Solutions. And his aim in life is to improve his communication skills and become a stage performer. Toastmaster Sabri.
Fellow Toastmasters, friends, and guests, as a timer, my role is to remind all speakers how much time they spent on their speeches so that we will run this meeting on time. For example, the time allocated for prepared speeches, the speaker is 5 to 7 minutes. Then I will show green at 5th minute, blue at 6th minute, red at 7th minute. The time allocated for evaluation is 2 to 3 minutes. Then I will show green at 2 minutes. 2 minutes 30 seconds and red at 3 minutes. The time allocated for table topic is 1 to 2 minutes. Then I will show green at 1 minute. 30 minutes, red at 2 minutes. At the end of the meeting, I will be back to present my report while called upon by general evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sabri. Very well put. Now, I would like to introduce the R counter for today. And she has been with Toastmasters since 2014, and she's a prolific speaker. She believes in becoming a better version of herself, and she also believes everyone around is to inspire us and to instill something in us, just that we need to be sensitive enough to accept that. Let me introduce Toastmaster Manisha ma'am to come forward and explain the objective of her role.
Thank you, General Evaluator. A very good evening to everybody. My role as an art counter is to help you declutter all the R's and ums and unnecessary filler words that that help the audience get totally confused. So I help you identify those filler words, those R's and M's, so that you have a very lucid picture of your conversations with so you would have a very clear conversation with your friends or whoever that you're talking with. I will be reporting at the end of the meeting when the general evaluator calls me.
Manisha ma'am, and here is the last member of the tag team. So I would like to introduce Toastmaster Kamachi, the grammarian for today, and she's yet another prolific speaker in the club. And she's a former software engineer who's planning to pursue a master's in the US. And she's more into mandala art and acrylic painting, and she believes in living her life to the fullest.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohit Nandakumar. Good evening, everyone, and big hi to all the virtual participants there. Today, I once again enjoy the pleasure of being the grammarian, fondly known as the English teacher of today's meeting. As a grammarian, I'll be responsible for four main things in today's meeting. First and foremost, like Toastmaster of the day and the R counter had already given away the word, but it's my duty to introduce the word of the day. And in general, it is better to give away a word that is related to the theme of the meeting. And since we have today's theme be clutter to clarity, I'd like to introduce the word of the day, that is lucid. I repeat, the word of the day is lucid. Lucid. It is an adjective which is used to refer to a person or a thought process as being not confused, or in other words, being clear and normal. I'd also like to give away an example of the usage of this word. Doctors usually say that when a person's temperature gets too high, he or she may not be lucid, or he might have difficulty in thinking. So with that, I would also encourage other speakers of today to incorporate this word in your speeches. Second, second and important job of grammarian today for me is that I pay very close attention to all the speeches, including the table topic speeches, and make note of any improper usage of the language, including mispronunciation, incomplete sentences, malapropisms, etc. I will also write down any outstanding usages of quotations, sayings, thoughts, etc. And finally, at the end of the meeting, I would be submitting the grammarian's report when called upon. And please note that the grammarian's report will also include the number of times the word of the day has been included. So I once again encourage all of you to make use of it. Thank you.
So much, Toastmaster Kamathi, for explaining everything in detail. So with that, I'm going to have to hand over the stage to the Toastmaster of the day, and I'll be back with my general evaluation report once called upon. Thank you so much. Over.
Masters and guests, if I were to ask you, give me one phrase which can describe the clutter, what will be that one phrase which you can say? Chaos. More important it is? Is anyone willing to come forward with more answers? So it is nothing but postponement of decisions. So all the decisions that we have postponed, it could be when it comes to physical clutter, it is about clearing the things that we do not require and acquiring only those things that are really needed by us, or it could be the mental clutter. It could apply in all areas of life, postponement of decisions, which leads to clutter. And we all know that clutter is very stressful. It can even lead to anxiety and depression. It will not allow us to live the life the way we need to be living. So in that scenario, under that scenario, it is very important that we do something. So what is that we can do? We have to start working on decluttering process, right? So which involves taking action. So this is very important. Now working on this decluttering process, do you think it's going to be very easy? This is an easy process. It requires action, but we will have to put in the time and the effort so that we work on decluttering process. So this process might involve, like if I have to tell you in simple words, or can we brainstorm certain idea where we can work on decluttering? Can somebody come up with idea? Okay. Complete your work then and there. Complete your work then and there. Then ground ourselves first. Yeah. So let us have think right. Ground ourselves means thinking change, bringing a change in our thought process. And then, yes, so if I were to club all these points together in simple words, it is just planning. Even before organizing, we need to plan or work out our goals and set realistic goals for ourselves. And even before starting to organize, we need to declutter. Just remove all the unnecessary information or unnecessary things that are stopping us from growing. And then let us organize our things store our things in a very better way, or organize our thoughts in a better way that is going to only help us reach our goals. And the fourth thing that we can do is we need to create a proper storage system and maintain them in such a way that when we need them, we should be able to find them. See, talking about this digital clutter or the physical clutter or all of this, we pile in so many things that at the end of the day, we think that all this will require all these stuff all the time in our life. And we keep them, we hoard them. We do not want to just give away, part away with them. What happens is at the time of need, we have difficulty locating those things. It could be the physical clutter or even the digital clutter. We just receive mails, we open them, we do not know what we need to do with them. So we just leave it open at the point that our inboxes are flooded with so many mails and so many messages that we do not know what we should be doing. So all this is actually creating so much of, backlog in our growth that we really have to put an effort to take away this clutter from our lives. Now, this clutter thing, I also said that it is very much applicable to the Toastmasters field. Can somebody tell me how? Procrastinating your speeches. Procrastinating your speeches. Okay, that's really very fine. Now that we are moving to the, thanks so much, Toastmaster Manisha. And now it's time for us to move to our prepared speech section. Now, how will I connect this process of clutter to clarity with our prepared speeches? Now, whether you agree with me or not, preparing your speeches is a cluttered process. The moment you decide to give your speech, so many thoughts, so many ideas come into our mind. So we need to plan based on the goal that we need to, based on our goals. The second thing what we need to do is declutter. Just remove all the information which does not support our speech or the specific purpose of our speech. And the third thing what we can do is organize our speech in a structured manner so that it can bring about some impact in the minds of the audience who are listening to the speeches. And the fourth thing that we can do is to practice and rehearse our speeches so many times that we can create an impactful impact on the audience's mind. So we are now moving on to the prepared speech session. The first speaker for today's evening is distinguished Toastmaster Zakaria. To evaluate his speech, we have Toastmaster Sharat. So I request Toastmaster Sharat to please read out his speech objectives.
Thank you, Yamuni. Today, my target speaker, Medium Abraham Zakaria, is doing his level 4 elective project from Innovative Planning Path. Project is managing a difficult audience. The purpose of the project is for the member to practice the skills needed to address audience challenges when he presents outside our Toastmaster club. Timer, please note the time is 10 to 15 minutes for the speech as well as the audience interruption. There are certain role players assigned in the meeting to interrupt. I request other members, if you are not assigned any roles, to please keep. So, all the very best. Thank you.
I just understand that there are a few of you among the audience who are going to will try their best to clutter the meeting. We are planning to have a decluttered meeting. But anyways, distinguished Toastmaster Zakaria is all ready to ensure that he moves away all the distractions in a very beautiful way so that we can have a beautiful meeting. Now, to tell you all a few words about distinguished Toastmaster Zakaria, he is the charter member of the club, or rather I should say the charter treasurer of our club, and he's also a chartered accountant by profession. So he is giving his speech, level 4 speech under the innovative planning and under the project, and it is the second project. So here I invite you, distinguished Toastmaster Zakaria, PTA meeting, distinguished Toastmaster Zakaria.
My preparation was very elusive. It made me very confusing. I don't know where to start. Well, friends, timer, please hold on now. The next 15 minutes, the second part of my speech. First 5 to 7 minutes, I will be giving a speech, and the second part is question answers. That is also 5 to 7 minutes. So I am the correspondent of a school, and you are not the difficult audience or the PTA members. So you can imagine this how a PTA meeting is conducted. So all of you can be very angry or whatever way you want. That is one thing. Secondly, and some of you can definitely help me also. In every meeting, everyone will not be against the PTA without the correspondent. The timer, please note that. So first, when my speech 5 to 7.
Before you continue, I have which way of ice cream?
Sorry, sir, I will take it up at the time. Thank you. Okay. This 5 to 7 minutes is there. Then next round is the table our what the audience time. You can ask any questions that time. I'll give you that. So what you need is you have to be now we are all in that drama. Please. That's what I basically. Okay, with that I will start my speech. Timer, yes, yes. Good evening, respected teachers and proud parents. welcome to the PTA meeting of our school. This school started about 22 years back. Then there was no English medium school in this part of the country. I must say, in 5 kilometer radius, there was no English medium school. There was only one local school run by the government. It was only up to fourth standard. So for those who studied here, they know how hard it was because they found it very difficult to pay the fees also. And when we started, first 6 months, no one attended the school. There's no children came to join the school. The next year, 4 students. But we have to keep 2 teachers for that purpose. The 5th year, we had 50 students. Then we realized we have to get students. So we bought a school bus. So the number increased to 100. The break-even came only in the 15th year. 15 years, we had to wait for the 15 years to break even the expense, the income and the expense, I must say. So all those days we spent about 10 lakhs. In today's rate, it was about 101 crore, I must say. Whatever we received as surplus, we reinvested in the school. So with that, this is the background in which the school has started. Today, this is one of the best schools in this area. There are many other schools. We have 100% results. And our teachers are the best and they are well paid. And there's a saying, all work, no play, make Jack a dull boy. So we have a lot of extracurricular activities in the school. And no other school is having so much place. So we have sports field, we have sports, zonal winners, and we have district and state players in our school. We encourage them in culturals. They have been to many places to give their presentations, elocution competitions, and always we get the best guests, film actors, best cricketers, and so on and so forth. These are all to encourage us children. Even for Independence Day, we get a veteran, Gandhian or army personnel. This all we did for the school. And today we have 1,200 students, 140 teachers, and 15 non-teaching staff. So, with this background, there's something happened. The government has come out with a suggestion. It's called the Fee Determination Committee. All of you know it about it. Fee Determination Committee, we give all the details. They said no. We can allow you only 40% of the present fees. 40%. If you're paying 100 rupees, we can take only 30% of the fees. And the conditions are, if there is no full class, in the sense if 100 students are there, we will give salary only for 2 teachers. We cannot have more than 40 students in a class, and even if it is more than 40 students, they will not give you that. 100 students, we have normally will have 3 classes. So here they pay only for 2 classes. Then no examination fee we can collect, no sports fee, no cultural fee, no annual day fees. And new admission, usually we collect some extra money. That is not permitted. And no refreshments to the teachers. And above all, the right to education, this one says that we have to reserve 10% of seats free. That also we have to give. No prices for the sports. No proficiency prices. All these are making the school very difficult with this 40% of the school, of the fees determined by the committee. If we pay out of our reserves, it will last only for the next 2 years. So there we are in a fix. So private management association, we decided something. We thought, okay, let's meet the government, and we met them, we made representation, nothing is happening. So we have consulted lawyers and others. Then we found from the parents, we collect the extra, whatever is required for us. It is the present fees, the difference, as a donation to the trust. School is separate, the trust is running the school. A trust can have many schools. Need not be in this state, it can be in other states also. So that the donation we collect and we leave it in the trust. and rest will take care of the school. That is permitted. This is what we are planning. So, and for this donations, you will get income tax ATG benefits also. I am here to seek your approval. So now the floor is open. Even the buzzer is there. Okay, you can ask me any question and I'll answer. You can be the audience.
Whatever we say, you are designated to collect the fees, right? Because you are which is produced of the gas, it will go on for the use of collecting instead of a fee, you are collecting a donation, illegal, can
This is not at all illegal. It is legal because you can pay a check. We'll deposit the money in the bank. And this is for the trust. This is not the school. School says only the school cannot collect the fee. You are giving a donation to the trust. I understand you. When in my case, if I had been your place, I would have asked the same question. I'm denying it. Very good. But the point is that we have to run the school. This is one of the best schools here. And if the school has to continue, we have to do this. This is legal, absolute legal, moral. Nothing illegal in it. Instead of collecting the school, the trust will be collecting. This is what we plan to do it. I seek your permission. I'm not here to declare that I'm saying this, but I seek your
what you will
Sir, you
and
know,
yes,
why are you that?
sir, I agree with you. That is what our point also. We have asked the government. Government is not willing to that. Government says, no, we cannot do. We have a commitment.
We are already having. Sir.
See, we have been, see, when we started the school, ma'am, please, not, we started the school, absolutely no schools in nearby. Is over a period, over 50 years, we created an infrastructure. No, please don't repeat that. Please note that the correspondent or any of them are not taking a 1 pi as a salary, not 1 pi as a salary. So we are only doing the service. We thought, okay, let's do some service to society. So that we are not taking any money. So, please confine to that topic. Yeah, that's I cannot answer all this. It is not. It is. If I told we bought it in the name of the trust. It is all legal. So nothing illegal. Then we can no. Then see, when we bought, we could have bought 10 cents of land here. So that we bought 5 acres of land here. But today it might be worth about 10 crores. That's why we have the school within the city. Then it was not a city. It was outside the city. Yeah, you are right that you see, if you are running a school only for of 10 years, yes, this is fine. Sell a school. I can also sell a school and I can sell a school. I can, that is not the, see, this is a perpetual succession is there. Succession is required. A school has to run. You see, 200 years old, 100 years old. Say, within 3 years can, pardon? Very good question. I mean, I would like to have the snacks, whatever we offer to you. And we agree with you, but let's talk more serious things because the life and death issues we are talking. That's, every money we pay, we are it is in the receipts towards this. You can tell me that we have collected something. Yeah, yeah. I agree. That is why you see when a new students are admitted, we take something called the new admission. New admission is, but for that admission fee, such things we now have so much infrastructure. So this is basically, and we have employed about 120, 150 people are there directly in the local community. They are all our stakeholders. You cannot say that we are taking all the money. See, that is also there. Some of the teachers are here. You tell them, but for that, they would have been working somewhere else. This is only within 1 kilometer. There's a place for them to work. So, Yeah. That got nothing to do with the school management as a correspondent. I will definitely, I am with you. We are serving the community. That is what we are doing it. Absolutely, you are absolutely right. We paid, you are absolutely right. We paid only 70%, but after that, we paid the balance 30%. It's the government direction. Government said you can pay only under 70%. They all agreed. So, pardon? You will not do anything. Sir, you could have, see, as you said, if I were captain, I could have done some long, so many other things. We are doing it for the sake of the community. Yeah. Yes, it has come from the floor, closest school. Ma'am, thank you so much, but we will not do that because we want to see that school, this school is running because started 52 years ago, it has to reach at least 100 years. Then it could be different. So all these suggestions about 40 years, where was it? No one asked these suggestions. Why did you sell this? We could have taken some money. No, this is only our blood and sweat that we will not leave. Maybe few of you may be not agreeing, but there are others. So these are temporary issues. Government will have wisdom. Some other day they might change their policy. So things are there. Yes, welcome. Free determination committee is applicable to all this. Everyone, every management is every management. You can, yeah. But international school, if you ask me to the policy, international schools are accepted. Why? Only the middle class is taxed. Not the international students of international schools are exempted. Why? So there are issues. But all this we have to somehow manage things so that we see that the school is there, take care, catering the students. Yes. We are expecting them, see, 40% there is a deficit. That we are only asking them to pay that 40% as a donation to them. Nothing else. That's a good suggestion. Actually, there's a very positive, creative suggestion. So, collecting 40% down payment, we can maybe will allocate in over a period or something. So that it is giving us good suggestion. I must say this is a very wonderful suggestion. So why not we agree? Instead of collecting 40% as a lump sum, we'll split it in 3 installments and collect it. No, okay, how about others? I think my teachers are here. Why not they say something? Yeah. Wonderful, I must say, wonderful. There are one or two odd. I know, sir, we are trying our best, but in spite of that, lot of pressure. Once we as a PTA, we agree something, it is applicable to everyone. Yeah. Yes. So technically, donation is a gift. That means you are giving voluntarily. Yes, by definition. So we are saying donation. That means you have come to my office and you are giving me a check. Okay. Yeah. But see, there's a mental pressure we give. You cannot physically meet me to my office. But yes, but you are doing all this for the good of the students, isn't it? Not for my sake. See, we feel whatever we have will rain out in 2 years time. If you continue the same fees, it'll be over by 2 years. Then we cannot run the school. How can we make them? That what is the other ways? You suggest ways. So he has given a lot of suggestions. So please give some suggestions. Yes, this suggestion, as of now, we are with that, we will split it into 3 and collect it. Pardon? Well, you can take whatever way you want, but we are very open. We are, for all of us, we are the proud parents for us.
So what is that land for the society is suffering because of the reason of to sell that property, no, that 10 crore property, I keep telling you, no, 1 crore if you sell, 1 crore part of the property is that I see how much of empty interest. Then balance like us will not suffer. Already they are suffering so much of peace with our focus.
Okay, I think if it is only about, you're talking about the money, there is something called the value of the money, present value of the money. So after 10 years, whatever I get 1 lakh, you got only. Pardon? Yeah. Okay, the point is that I know 52 years we survived. We want to see that at least 100 years. This is, unless we sell all the property, every year we can sell the property and do it. See, you're all stakeholders. If the community don't want, we are not getting any personal benefit out of it. Only thing is that they are the transporter, nothing else. And thank you, ma'am. Yeah. No.
Designated by the VPE to disturb or ask questions. But here what I noticed is each and every one of us have planning discussions, but the thing that we need to remember is that we stayed to this purpose. He was just doing this. He did not deviate from his purpose, so he wanted the consent from all of you, and he finally got it. So that's more important. Thank you, sir, for the wonderful proposal. Yes, now it's time for us to run to the second speaker. Now the second speaker is again a veteran Toastmaster, I would say, champ speaker who's delivering her level 3 project 2. Yes, and it's like know your, and the project is know your sense of humor. And to evaluate her, we have Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana, who will now come forward and read us the speech objectives. Let us listen to the objectives clearly before we move on to the So before I call him. So Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana is again a very enthusiastic Toastmaster who has served our club in various designations as a VP, VPR, and he has also served as a president. Give the control to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Today, our Toastmaster Rekha is going to deliver a speech on public-private relationship and level 3, is know your sense of humor. The purpose of this project is to begin developing a collection of humorous stories and to present a speech that includes humor. Diamond, please know that time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to Toastmaster Rekha. Over to you.
Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana. I now invite Toastmaster Rekha. Weird story of life, Toastmaster Rekha.
Good evening, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. Are you waiting for that auspicious day? That day when you want to hold hand with your soulmate, your marriage day? If yes, many years ago, I belonged to your category. Are you come to that stage of realization? Why did I ever get married? If yes, currently I'm at that stage of my life. Many years ago, when I was in my final year of graduation, I was determined that further, no more studies, but get married and live happily ever after, at least to escape from my strict parents. My uncle's son and I were having an eye on each other. I thought he is the perfect candidate to play the role of my husband. Everything went okay. One fine day, my mother from the kitchen screamed at the top of her voice, Rika, leave the house. I was lying on the sofa with my book, my academic book. I was studying. My father, my savior, wanted to save his sweet daughter from the scoldings of my mother. He came near me and indicated that I was holding my book upside down. And he picked the broomstick and started sweeping. My bad. Then my uncle Ramesh came home. He saw me lying on the sofa and he saw my father sweeping. I don't know what he imagined. Next, I saw him in his marriage. He was the bridegroom and I was his guest. I think marriage is not in my fate. I was dejected, devastated, and disappointed. But somehow I completed my graduation. And I was very lucid in my decision that no more higher studies. This gave the message to my parents, and my parents seriously started looking for a bridegroom. And then series of Penpakum Padanam. So the prospective bridegrooms with his family visited me in my home. And you know what? Everyone rejected me for known and unknown reasons. I was not pretty enough. I don't know how to cook. I was not wearing sari properly. And I'm not proficient in English language. I was wondering, how come speaking a clear English or English fluently is an eligibility criteria to get married? If at all I would have known that, I would have joined Vivekananda English speaking course or even Toastmasters. But it was late. I think marriage is not in my horoscope. Then I joined a small firm. There, my colleague, a smart looking boy, asked me to meet next week on the Valentine's Day. I was super excited. And I told my friend Priya, who is also working in the same office. Then she gave all negative inputs about him. And I was a little skeptical to agree to him. And guys, you know what? Next week, on the Valentine's Day, this guy and Priya were missing. I heard both of them were dating. Straight up. I was just waiting for that day. Opportunity knocked my door. Knocked my door. I had to attend my friend's or my cousin's wedding. My cousin is much younger to me, but she's getting married. Evening was reception, and next day was the marriage. On the reception, I saw a young, smart girl, and both of us crossed each other, smiled at each other, and even looked at each other. And this, he father also looked. Next day, he disappeared. He did not come for the marriage, and never I met him again or even heard about him. Again, I think the universe is conspiring for me not to get married. I had a very good friend. I met him in his terrace at his home, and I was lamenting all these things. And he suddenly started laughing. I asked him what. He said, "You know what? My mother asked whether your parents will agree for you to get married with me. And my mother wanted to meet your parents." Then he laughed and he said, "I said, we are just friends." Bulb lit in my head. I thought, I had a solution in my hand and in searching for solutions everywhere. How can we do that? A known devil is better than an unknown angel. So immediately I proposed. It took time. He said he wanted time. I waited for 1 long week. Then he agreed. Maybe he would have also thought a known devil is better than an unknown angel. My parents, to get rid of me, they got us married together. And now both the devils got married and we started to fight happily ever after. Do I have to give some message from my speech? Are you looking for one? The grass is always greener on the other side. Toastmaster. Very wonderful speech. She did others to her project even before her evaluator could mention it to her. So let me let the cat out of the bag. She has given enough justice to her project. So it was really wonderful. We love listening to your speech, every minute of your speech. Now moving forward, I just told you all that transforming oneself from clutter to clarity is very empowering. And I also told you that it is very much applicable in the field of Toastmasters. So in the field of it can help us to communicate better when our thoughts are clear. Now, if you were to ask me, how will your thoughts help you communicate better? Then I'm a perfect example to it. I'll tell you my personal story at the end of the meeting. But before that, I'll walk you through the next section of the meeting, which is again a table topic session. Here again, what is expected of the speaker is to come here, get the topic from the table topic master, and think for a minute, few seconds. He just gets a few seconds, not more than 30 seconds, to organize his thoughts and deliver a very impactful speech. So for this, I hand over the session to Toastmaster Bilal Sharif, who is going to walk with the meeting.
Thank you, Toastmasters and guests. Once again, for the benefit of guests, as a table topic master, I am responsible for preparing and coordinating a portion of meeting that is designed to develop 4 essential skills of communication. That is listening, thinking, listening, and expressing. Table topic is to test your impromptu skills and ability to think on yourself. As a table topic master, I can give you a topic. You have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Or I can even play a song and ask you questions like what comes to your mind. You have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Or I can even show you an image and ask you what is the message that is conveyed to you. So you have to speak freely for a minute or two. With that being said, what is the next to call an experienced Toastmaster? You know, tree can grow to heaven, none of its roots reach down to the earth. Just repeat again, no tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to the earth. What comes to your mind?
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master. And I think it's a wonderful quote because when we talk about trees have to be grounded in the different, whatever soil that they are. And you'll find that if you go to desert areas where there are cacti and other things, very, very little water sources. So therefore, the roots will be shallow. But look at India. We have such a diversity of trees. You have the coconut palm. It doesn't have a very deep root, but it has a very strong root base. So no matter the storms, no matter the rain, no matter the thunder, the palm trees sway according to the weather. The banyan tree stands upright. It does not move, but it sends out roots. And the roots that it sends out across acres and acres and acres of land. And each of those is again ready to bear fruit and ready to spread into another set of trees. Toastmasters is like that. CTM is like that. The banyan tree that is rooted in principles, values, and philosophy of Toastmasters. One seed planted by Toastmasters CTF, and we have more than 100 clubs, 150 clubs in Tamil Nadu alone. I think that's a major achievement. And I think that's what we really need. Recently, I heard about the sequoia trees in the USA that reach up to 2,000 feet. Can you imagine the depth of the roots required for a tree of that size? God makes his own decisions. Is a tree going to spread far and wide like a banyan, or stand straight, pointing to the sky like a sequoia? Many versions that we have over here are our Ashoka trees. So each tree, different kinds of roots, we have to decide, grow accordingly.
With that, I need some guests now. Who want to volunteer? Any? Okay. Okay, Balas. The question to you is, please identify yourself for a stranger. Please identify yourself for a stranger.
Hello everyone. So I'm Balasubramaniam and I'm doing my BTech engineering. So what happened is, like, if you were asked me any other day, like 2-3 months before, I would have said, no way, why should I do that? But recently I joined my college, and even though my house is near, I decided that I need to get some new friends. So I just decided to join hostel. So in hostel, one roommate, he was like hyperactive. I never saw him in the room. And another roommate was like he was like a eccentric person. Like he was so different. And I thought, oh my God, this guy is my roommate. But since he started to spend time with me, that robot became into a human being. That he fell in love with the girl. The kick in the story is I also like the same girl. But just because I felt that robot transitioned to a human being, that guy just deserved that girl. So I decided to sacrifice my love for his love. And so he began to confide in me. He was like, I spent time with this girl. Even though I was quite furious with some of the things he said, I was like, you must encourage your robot friend. So I was just encouraging that guy. So one day he sent me a poem. He was saying, bro, the day has arrived. Today I'm gonna say my love to her. I don't want to say it directly, so I'm going to say it in a form of poem. And he sent me the poem. So like most of us do, I copy the poem in ChatGPT and ask, just interpret the poem for me. But the ChatGPT said something very strange. I never expected this. It said the guy who wrote this poem is questioning his existence in life. He's in deep depression and he needs help. But still, he was like so enthusiastic. Bro, this is my best work ever. No, this poem is gonna win me my love. My children are gonna meet their mother in this poem. I saw my children in this poem. Was like I did not want to tell him, bro, like this poem is very terrible. I was like encouraged him, like, bro, do. And he sent that poem, and that girl, blocked him, and that guy started crying. So most of us we had a warden. The warden guy, we had the best relationship. We never cared for each other's existence. So, but the one guy who never spoke to us for the rest of the semester, he just consoled that guy, bro, you'll get another girl. And yeah, I think I proved my point. I sacrifice for a kid.
Thank you so much, Balamurugan, for sharing your thoughts on that. With that, we have one more guest. Thank you. Hi, Hari. What's the number one thing most people regret before they die? What's the number one thing most people regret before they die, according to you?
Okay, very interesting. How many of you know Ben Langley? How many of you know Ben Langley?
Okay. So, Ben Langley was the first person who was actually given $50,000 in the late 1800s by the US military to make machines fly. And the issue with Ben Langley was he didn't know why he was doing that. He was looking at friend of Graham Bell, Thomas Alva Edison, all were friends. He had $50,000. He was a PhD, but he didn't know why he did it only because he had to get a lot of faith. He failed miserably in the mission. 100 miles apart, there were Wright brothers who were also trying to fly. They had the sheer passion. They began with the why. Why am I doing this? I want to make the machines fly. That was the passion. And they were able to make the machines fly. And not only that, started do this. He left the entire mission and he died. So he got a lot of funding. He was a PhD, and the Wright brothers are just a high school passer. So why were the Wright brothers able to do it? And Ben Langley, who was a PhD, Harvard mathematician, so many friends, why was he not able to do it? He began with the why in his mission. Whatever we do before we die, whatever we do in our life, we should have this why. Why are we doing this? If you're doing something, ask yourself, why am I doing this? That's it. Thank you.
That we need one more guest. Okay. What's your name? Kirtan Sardin. If you could get the attention of the entire world for 2 minutes, what do you say or do? I'll repeat again, if you can get the attention of the entire world for 2 minutes, what will you do first?
As you said, like if I get an attention for 2 minutes of whole entire world, like if they ask me to talk or something, if they want me something like that, I would come up with an idea to tell them to live their life to the fullest. In the sense, as just now the sir said, like even though that fellow died after his whole mission, I would better ask them to be like whatever you like, you carry on your passion as a work. So that could be helpful, that could create your interest, that could split you from all the tensions and all the unwanted life and come to the right path as you wanted. So that is a perfect way to even find your career and other stuff out of it. Like I'm a sports person. I like to play sports. All the stress, whenever I get into, I go into the court, I finish off and I come out coolly. So that is how we need to come up with our own careers and own stress, and we have to cope up with it. So this is how I learn. So thank you.
Okay, we can take one more. Okay, we need one more guest. Okay, Sarvesh. Hi, Sarvesh. Question to you is, which flavor of ice cream best represents you? Which flavor of ice cream best represents you? What do you say?
Yeah. Hi all. Myself Satish, and I thought it was those are my first day in Toastmasters. So something I didn't get the question properly, but I think the question is not nice. So yeah, the changes, the flavor changes. Actually, it may consider to be in the flavor. In this phase of my life, I was like temping on everything, get right, go on the flow with everything. After that, my flavor is my friends have been given little importance. My flavor was on my mother, my sister. So that was my place. So right now, when I enter this place, I was totally made to be very calm. I've never been in a place so calm. Place, it's not so calm enough. So this made me another flavor. I was totally not here. If my friend someone see outside the door, no, they'll be laughing at me. Why are you doing it? What is you doing in Toronto? So I'm basically, I've never been to work and all. I'm into business profile. So I have never experienced this social communication between me. I have accounted for 6 years and I have staff working for me. We three always, we go to the lunch also. I have to go with these three and this is my life for all these years. So the reason I'm here is to have if I have any other flavor of myself, I have to find here. So I don't have any definite that this is my flavor, I can't go with here. So it changes time to time, I guess.
Looks like I think a mixture of all flavors. With that being said, you guys want to take up a question? Shakti, okay. Question to you is, what do you love most about yourself? What do you love most about yourself?
Good afternoon, all present here. So I'm happy to be talking about the topic that what I love most about myself. So I've been working for about like my about 10 to 15 years trying to figure out what I'll be doing as such. Like, I again would remind what Sir said regarding, trying to think about why you're doing, right? So that was the ultimate thing which I've been doing for a very long period of time. And in this process, I've had a lot of learnings to actually comprehend it, tell to people. So through this process, what I have identified is, as such about myself, I give a lot of importance to what the impact of the things I do. That is, in terms of trying to be the best ethical version of myself. So in that aspect, if I'll be thinking, so there like it's not about the qualities as such, but the fundamental thing which I'll be looking at is if it's more positive towards myself and the society as such, or the impact it has on any person that I'm actually any person or thing or the activity which I do, then I feel that is the most that is the thing which I consider as a prime importance more than what I get out. So I'm not sure how others think in general because I've never thought about how people comprehend things and how they go about it. It's more about how I look at things and how I want to implement it and what I give prime importance to. So overall thinking about it, this is something which I feel that is what to say that is the best thing or like the thing which I value about it. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Before I hand over the stage to Gita Sharif, the stage is open for guests as well as Toastmasters. I have one more question. Anyone want to talk? Right? Neeraj. Neeraj. So the question to you is, if there was one day when anything was allowed, what would you do? If there was one day when anything was allowed, what would you do?
Very interesting. Hello, Toastmasters and guests. Myself, Dheeraj. I just joined Toastmasters Club a couple of weeks back, and thanks, Milan, for the talk. So, probably on a personal front, I would. It's a very interesting question where, uh, you know, probably I just gather with all my friends, and we'll just get into our old college days, spend some time together. We'll just probably go out, eat some good dishes, and maybe talk about our love stories in the college. And also the one interesting thing is probably we all will be honest only when we are sitting with our parents or when we are sitting with friends. Probably that one day I think you can just open yourself and you can spend some very good precious time, be it in Thailand or be it in Munnar. So that is what probably I do. Thanks.
I think with this, I hand over the stage to Geeta Sharif. We are done with our table topic session. Thank you.
Yes, so I'm back again after a beautiful session. I hope you all enjoyed the table topic session. I could see a lot of volunteers volunteering and coming forward. Your thoughts were really well organized. And I think each and every speaker was able to express himself or herself in a beautiful manner, eliminating all that is not important and only talking about what is related to the topic. That was a really wonderful part on your side. And friends, as you all know, I just told you all that moving from clutter to clarity can be really empowering, and it is also applicable in the field of communication or in the Toastmasters. Now, I also promised you all that I'll share one personal story, how it really helped me. So, in that way, let me share with you all that just here, a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I always would carry one sheet with me where I would note down the points. For instance, even if I was giving an evaluation, for me to remember just the 3 points would be so difficult that I would carry the sheet with me, the pointers. And then somebody suggested, why would you need this? An experienced Toastmaster in this class, he said, why would you need this paper in your hand? Why wouldn't you do it on your own? Why cannot you store it on your memory and just come and deliver? That will look more natural. And then, do you know what I told him? He said, no, sir, I will not be able to do that. What if I forget? I had the history of forgetting my script all the time. It was not that I was just cooking it or making it from my mind. I stood embarrassed so many times, forgetting my script. After which I decided that no, I will always empower myself with a paper with all the pointers on it. But then that day he said, I think there's something more to do with your mental clutter. You need to do something about it. Probably you should work on mindfulness and meditation. I laughed. So he was being sarcastic. And then, and do you know what he said? No, Toastmaster Geeta, I'm not being sarcastic. I'm pretty serious about it. It really got me into thinking, what is it that is holding me back? What am I doing to myself? Initially, I had no idea as to how to begin with this. But then slowly, I started releasing all the thoughts, all the negativities. It wasn't an easy option. It required an axe and a saw, but I gave the time and the effort wherein I decided I will eliminate all the thoughts which are not allowing me to grow. It could be something like your voices, internal voices, like you can't do it. Or it could be somebody else's voice who's telling you that you'll never be able to accomplish all of these things. I worked on it slowly. And today I have reached a point where I have carried forward this entire meeting without writing one word about what I will discuss. Thank you so much. But that's the power that comes from transforming from clutter to clarity. Like before we talk more about it, let me walk you through the next section, which is the evaluation session. And as I told you, it is in this section, the prepared speakers will get enough feedback. And they have promised me, the evaluators, that they will also evaluate them on the basis of clarity and concise. So I will invite the general evaluator to take forward the meeting with us. Let me invite Toastmaster Rohit, who is the general evaluator of the meeting.
Very good evening once again. Now that we are done with both segments, the prepared speeches as well as the table topic speeches, it's time for evaluation. First up, I would like to introduce an eminent speaker, a champion speaker in fact, who happens to be a PhD research scholar as well at IIT Madras. And he's been a passionate master for over 4.5 years. And he's passionate about public speaking and teaching. And he also likes to hit the gym. Let me introduce Toastmaster Sharad to evaluate Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria speech today. Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for the very nice introduction. Toastmasters, my dear target speakers, DTM Abraham Zakaria. Your content was so attractive. All the Toastmasters, even bachelors, became a parent and
He thought it was a PTA meeting, and that's how the content was. But I am here to evaluate on how you manage a difficult audience, not about the content. So let me go through the things which happened in that 10 to 15 minute speech. There are a lot of interruptions. We had people entering inside, we had some ringtone, we had some cough sound here and there. I don't know, it's planned or and we have people talking about other topics, which is totally irrelevant. But at the end of the every interruption, you remain calm and composed. And that shows how confident you are and how professional you are. Because in that place, I cannot imagine if I am a speaker, if someone is doing like that, like the emotion will come out. But you stayed very calm and composed. I like that really very much. Second point, you stayed with the purpose. I think when you're speaking, you had a purpose within your mind. Your purpose was to serve the community. You're running as like school, so you have to serve the community, and you're not taking money by yourself. And I feel you stayed with the purpose, and that helped you to remain calm and composed. And talking about the interrupter, Toastmaster Bilal trying to uh, talk about some snacks, something which is totally irrelevant. And I like you told I also want it, and you synced with him, and then you said later we'll. That presence of mind, I really liked it. And when Toastmaster Palisamy and Toastmaster Manisha, they were partnership in arguing, and you show the empathy. You told, I understand, even if I am a parent like you, that the empathy that you showed and the way you handled that situation also, I liked it very much. And finally, you derived a suggestion from one of the audience at the end of your speech. That also very well done. Just to recommend only one point I have with respect to the time constraint. I think the speech exceeded the time limit. When we see the red light, we might have asked the audience to still like, I have reached my time limit. So let us quickly wind up. Something we could have said, it would be very good. Just to summarize, it was a beautiful experience for me as a evaluator sitting there. And I hope all the audience here were very great session, that 15 minutes. And the way you handled was very professional and very purposeful. Only the time part, if you can take it next time, it would be very great, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to Master. And next up, we have yet another eminent speaker who served as Vice President Public Relations, Vice President Membership, and Vice President Education, and is currently serving as immediate past president. Let me introduce Toastmaster Lakshminarayan sir to evaluate Toastmaster Rekha's speech. I'm sorry.
Good evening, Toastmasters. This is my dear friends. And special mention to my target speaker, Toastmaster Rekha, for delivering a wonderful humorous speech. Let me begin with speech is saying that you met the objective. You made a song of throughout your speech. It is filled with humor. The main reason I see is because of humor is connecting with everyone, be it married people or even unmarried people. Maybe they were missing from the parents as well. So it is you were able to connect with each other because I remember once Jen I was mentioning how to write a script on humorously. He said you have to think about don't go for any forwards or any WhatsApp, just think about your pain points, what I had in the past, and try to write a script out of it. You'll find humor. So I felt the same thing from you. You have to get any points, you go with the script. Okay, and again, you have a lot of the sequence of the story. That's what the project. That's why I said you made it up. The sequence of stories that humor in order. Like one example, you said like when your dad saved you from holding the book from upside down. I think it's saved from your mom by taking you to the reverse the book and also sleep on your behalf. And actually, I think that they saved you from the marriage itself, so that the bride because you know what's going to happen once you get married. And there are a lot of other small jokes you had about the one the dating story about the Priya and other person and the one with the reception guy. So these are
humor people, they find it what happens like, remember, I used it, you use it here on the individual that please say, Nalagara Power, speaker on Taliban, something like, they talk about the good time is well, but not just for men and young for women, that's what I understood from here. You mentioned that, you know that it is, that's why we end up. Yes, Alex used to say in his place, with language instinct and interact, that's what I get a credit from you. Thank you so much. And I don't have any specific sorry, except that I thought we can have more humor, and I saw you talking more. You are enjoying also yourself, that's nothing wrong about it. Humor, simple, little bit, add more humor also because marriage story has a lot of incidents. Even I have personally, I don't have to mention here. So you gave me a hint to write a script on the podcast. Okay, you know, one of those things wanted to really, you met the objective by made us all laugh with us and you made us all connect with and laugh with the script. And I'm glad that it I usually thought of telling you to have a target audience because this audience was meant for married people. So the way that people are laughing, it was connecting with even the married people also. So I that's from the recommendation. The only recommendation is to have more humor this week. More of the stand and walking.
Master Lakshmi Narayana. So I would like to call upon the second team, the tag team, to share their insights. First up, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Sabri to share his timer report.
So I came with my research. So TL Palanisam SSA has done 0.1, 0.23 seconds. And Navina PO has done as 55 seconds. And Gita Saras, TMOD of the day, has done for totally done for 50 minutes. And Central Evaluator Rohit Nandakumar has done 3 minutes in 6 seconds. And here Manisha is 34 seconds. We can complete with this 2 minutes 20 seconds. And when I come to prepared speakers, Anika, then 6 minutes 35 seconds. And DDM, Zakaria, is done 16 minutes 50 seconds. Going ahead with the tabletop speakers. So it is TM Vedant Series, Toastmaster, TP Master today has done 1 minute 20 seconds. And TM Rina, TP speaker, 2 minutes 12 seconds. And this Subramaniam spoke around 2 minutes 3 seconds. Guest TM Hari spoke about 1 minute 50 seconds. And guest Ethan spoke about 1 minute. And guest speaker Sadish is 1 minute 25 seconds. Guest Tahir spoke about 1 minute 54 seconds. And TL Diaz spoke about 55 seconds. And when we come to evaluator, TM Shara spoke about 2 minutes 56 seconds. TM Lakshmi Narayana spoke about 2 minutes 53 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sabri. And now I would like to call upon Toastmaster Manisha ma'am to share her background report.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for that honor. As we go with the theme, I'm helping you declutter yourself. I'm going to read out the name of speakers who had the maximum clutter in their speeches, starting with them. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Geeta. General Evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Rohit. Timer of the day, Toastmaster Sabrish. Kamakshi, our grammarian, had some R's and Ums and very little clutters of and. Zach, as prepared speaker, had the maximum source because he was interrupted so many times. So many times. I'm with you. I can feel your pain. Then we had our prepared speaker, Toastmaster Rekha, who had just a then and an and.
She did not have too many asanas. The maximum word that cluttered this hall today was so, and, then, and was the maximum, the most hit list. Finally, I would like to acknowledge speakers who had very little clutter in their speech today. I would like all of you to wait and then applaud for these speakers because they have done a wonderful job. Guest Harishankar. Guest Kate, please wait. Hold your guest Ketan Soni. Toastmaster Dheeraj. And finally, Toastmaster Palniswamy and Toastmaster Naveen, who had minimum clutter in their speeches. Congratulations and all. I wind up my report. I have a very small suggestion. When you read out somebody's report, you could avoid the ands. You could simply read their name and tell the time. You don't have to add the and there. So that way the clutter is gone. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manisha ma'am. And finally, we have the Marian report. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Kamachi to give our insights.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Once again, good evening, everyone. It's good to be back. Before I deep dive into my analysis, I'd like to congratulate all the speakers, the prepared speakers, as well as the table topic speakers. We've had many guests who tried doing the table topic speeches today. Frankly speaking, I haven't done even one speech yet, table topic speeches. So congratulations on that. And I'm extremely delighted to tell that the word of the day, lucid, has been used for about 4 times by Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Geeta ma'am, the R counter, TM Manisha ma'am, DTM Zakaria sir, and TM Rekha ma'am. Also, like we've had very interesting speeches, lucid speeches, I should say, from the prepared speeches. Also, interestingly, even the table topic speeches had so much of clarity in their in the structure. So that was something that I felt was unique in this particular meeting that I've attended so far. And also, I would like to make note of some very usage of nice vocabulary of today. By Toastmaster of the day, we've had words like overwhelmed, conciseness, brainstorm, designated, uh, distractions, and phrases like let the cat out of the bag got me into thinking. And from the general evaluator, we've had words like apparently, prolific, eminent, and praise as keep an eye on. From guests, I've heard chaos, and apart from that, we've had TM Rekha ma'am use words like auspicious, skeptical, traitor, lamenting, uh, and phrases like the universe is conspiring, no devil is better than unknown angel, grass is always greener on the other side. And TTM Zakarian sir used words such as veteran, perpetual, and phrases like we are in a fix, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Finally, I would like to conclude this report by making few suggestions. Like I felt today's meeting had more of flawless speeches, but a few suggestions here and there. Maybe these mistakes are something that we don't do intentionally or even consciously. Like usage of give some cooperation. Instead, it could be need to cooperate. And are you come to that stage? It should have been like, have you come to that stage? And what is you doing in? Instead, it should be, what are you doing? And just a mispronunciation that I felt was instead of poem, it should be po. It should be po, not poem. So these are a minor things that I felt we could incorporate and make note of, so that next time we can be consciously avoiding these things. So thank you all for patiently listening to my report. I yeah, thank you.
So it's time for my report. And as I said earlier, I'll be keeping an eye on everything right from the word go. And here's what I'm going to start with today. So we have so many guests today, and I think it's better to hand them and everyone a copy of the agenda. So traditionally, we have been creating WhatsApp groups only for the members, and we have been sharing the agenda. I think it's better to share a physical copy of the agenda. If not a physical copy, I think we can create a WhatsApp group for the guests as well, and then we can delete it later once we come to the end. And the air conditioning is exceptional today. It's a lot better today, in fact. And the overall setup and the ambience is extremely good. We have a lot of members today. And the meeting should have started on time. I think we started at 4:05 or 4:06. We were late by 5 to 6 minutes. I think we should start on time going forward. And as far as TMOD speech is concerned, she explained everything in detail and really well. It was lucid. She blurted out the word of the day once, and I think that is supposed to be introduced by the grammarian. That's okay. That's totally fine. And the way she explained what is clutter all about and how to declutter under various circumstances, I think hats off to you, ma'am, for having come up with quite a few examples. And your speech, it was more of a brainstorming session, as she explained, as the grammarian explained. And the session was interactive as well. Unlike previous sessions, this was a lot interactive. And you also explained the types of clutter and all. So coming to the prepared speeches, I think Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria sir used the word "lose it once," and I just like the way he managed all the parents as a correspondent of a school, and all your answers were befitting, logical, and sensible. And I think apart from being a chartered accountant, you should try your hand at politics as well. You'll make a great foreign minister. I think you should try your hand at civil services as well, sir. You are exceptional. And a lot of people interrupted in the middle. More of heckling and all. You actually, dealt with it really well. Keep it up, sir. I think I have a lot of lessons to learn from you. And coming to the second speaker for today, Toastmaster Rekha ma'am. I think your speech was damn hilarious. And the way you explained all the incidents that happened in life, it was extremely good. I think all speeches were, damn hilarious today, unlike previous sessions. So I think the quality of the speeches and the quality of the meetings as well have improved a great deal. And coming to table topics, I think table topic master Bilal Sharif explained what table topics are all about and why it is required. He explained everything really well. And the quality of the topics as well have improved a great deal. Keep it up, Toastmaster Bilal Sharif. And distinguished Toastmaster Neena John, ma'am. I think you are such an inspiration, ma'am. I think you are one of the reasons why I'm here every week. I can listen to you all day, not just me, everyone. So thank you so much for inspiring us, ma'am. And I have to, I think I have to appreciate the guests as well. So they came forward voluntarily and picked up topics. So great job, guys. Wonderful job. Keep it up. And all the speeches were hilarious. Some of the speeches from the guests as well, all were hilarious. And coming to the speeches that were evaluated by Toastmaster Sharath and Toastmaster Lakshminarayana sir. And I think all your evaluations were equally hilarious as the speeches. Keep it up, sir. And that's my report for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Rohit, for a detailed evaluation. And just a small question. Did you all enjoy this meeting? Did you find the meeting to be lucid? Or did we really go overboard in all the sections? Okay, think about it. But before that, I have a question. I challenge you all to identify what is that clutter which is stopping you from living your life to the fullest. What is that you need to work on so that that can take you or lead you to the path of success, that can lead you to your goals. So I once again repeat, I challenge you all to identify what is that one thing or what are the voices that are stopping you from reaching your potential or living a life to the fullest of your potential, and just work on it. And within a few days, I wouldn't say it's going to be an easy job. It will take little time and effort, but very soon you will notice that once things are cleared out, once you declutter yourself, then you are automatically reaching, you will automatically be on your path to your goals. It's now time for us to move to the next section of our meeting, which is that we are having elections now. So it's time for me to hand over the control to the election officer or the presiding officer. But before that, I want you all to please fill in those seats. Wherein you will have to choose the best speaker, the best evaluator, the best role player. When it comes to the best role player, it is going to be between the table topic master, the Toastmaster of the day, and the general evaluator. You will also have to mark for the best table topic speaker and the best evaluator. Once you are done marking your ballot sheet, you can hand it over to the sergeant at arms. Thank you so much. And with this, I hand over the control to our presiding officer, Naveen.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for the wonderful theme and the engagement with the audience. So it's time to get the guest feedback. Could you please share your feedback about this 2 hours meeting? How do you enjoy? Could you please come here?
Good evening, everyone. This is my first day at Toastmasters. I have been here because of my CD of the company. He actually suggested me Toastmasters because I was kind of a decent speaker in the
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Actually, this is my first class. So I get to know this Toastmaster Club is one of my mentors. Actually, goes doing evaluation and getting thoughts right. Like everyone has thoughts, but people doesn't know how the thoughts will be. The root of the thoughts, meaning that if suppose I want to reach a goal, but something stops me, or where I have to go, I'm not.
Opportunity. So, even having cared about Toastmasters. So, one of my friends is Santosh. So, he just suggested me, and uh, so I just want to improve my communication. So, even I have done my schooling in matriculation, right? Still, I have some fear on speaking in front of these many crowds. So what I have to do is like I was just thinking about myself. Even I have a 10 year of experience in IT industry. So even I couldn't do a good presentation, like in IT industry when we have to do some kind of presentation about a project. So even I didn't do it you should I don't have that gut to do that. So what I have to do it? I was just asking myself. Definitely, my friend Santosh suggested me to join course, one of his mentors. He is also my mentor. Uh, his name is Kalidan, who suggested this course mentor to like to improve our communication and also uh, like just to build a confidence when we are speaking. So so when I entered here, right? So really I just admired some of the speakers like one is Balasubramanian. He is very young. He is a student. So, still, I have 10 years of experience. I couldn't communicate very well like him. So, I just admire that. So, thank you, Bala. So, Vegaman. So, he made us laugh. See, if you ask me to speak,
even in Tamil, if you ask me to speak, right, I'm not very sure how humor I can deliver to these people. But he made the way very very interesting. Whenever we go to a meeting, right, we used to see that and like we used to see our mobile. If it is not more interested, right, sometimes we may also slur. But here, like, I was interestingly like listening all the speakers, like what are all they're speaking out. We just I mean I need to improve my communication. So thank you all. Thank you all.
Due to time constraints, we will get the guest feedback, remaining of the guests a little later. And we are moving to the results portion. And for the benefit of the case, we are conducting a nominal fee of ₹200. And if you are a student, you can pay this quantity to president membership. And we can contact him after the meeting to discuss about the questions. And this
Third player goes to our grammarian Toastmaster Thomas.
this player goes to Toastmaster Federation to give us this speaker goes to
Aristan.
this
Speaker goes to Toastmaster Sarath. And the guest speaker goes to Toastmaster Rekha. And it's time to honor our division contest winner. I may request distinguished Toastmasters Jack sir and Neena ma'am to this dais.
On behalf of Toastmasters, we conducted the award in the recent conference, so it's time to facilitate Toastmasters. To facilitate the education award, those who are completing the education award applications, Toastmasters level 2. Level 3, level 4, and proficient.
Presentation mastery proficient. Level 2, level 3, level 4, and pathway completion, motivational strategies. This will go to the end of our meeting, and I will officially adjourn the meeting number 877. And we will meet again in the same hall 4 to 6 p.m. on the next week, Sunday. And we will begin the election within 5 minutes. Or no, we can start after the election is. We need to accept the gate. So we are going to have our ESCOM elections. For that, we need only the current members of Chennai Toastmasters Club. So I may request the guests to can go there, and our vice president membership will come to have the discussion of the Chennai Toastmasters. Really good. Simple, very expensive. No. Start of it.